What's going on YouTube? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to teach you that advanced R&B progression that you heard in the intro. We're using several different embellishment techniques here to add detail to the progression and to kind of focus on melody more so here as opposed to just a progression with chords that loops over and over again. Although this does have that looping element. If you're new here, my name's Ellis, aka Ellis the Kid. I'm a session guitarist with over 15 years of experience. This progression is in the key of C major or A minor. The relative minor for C major is A minor. And the chords that we'll be utilizing are D minor 7, A minor 7, F major 9. We're using the E augmented chord and the E7. In between those chords, we're adding several different embellishment techniques, so slides, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. To start off, we're playing a D minor 7. So all that is a D minor 7, but we arpeggiate those notes there. So to play a D minor 7, we're barring with our first finger all the strings from the 5th string down on the 5th fret. Okay, so that's with your first finger, then use your ring finger and place that on the 7th fret of the D string, and then finally your middle finger on the 6th fret of the B string. So we arpeggiate that down from the A string to the G string. When we reach the B string, we're not actually using our middle finger to fret the 6th fret just yet. We are leaving that open in the bar position on the 5th fret using our first finger. Then when we play the B string, we then hammer on quickly to the 6th fret of the B string, pulling back off with your middle finger. So when we get here, we then descend back up, but we hammer on onto the G string 7th fret. Okay, so that's all we do there. The next bit is this. We're utilizing augmented chords, hammering on into a dominant 7. All right, so we're playing an E augmented chord here. And the voicing for that is using your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string, your middle finger on the 6th fret of the D string, and then finally your first finger on the 5th fret of the G string. Not a very nice sounding chord, but in context, it sounds good. Okay, now we play that really quickly, and then we hammer on using our pinky finger to the 7th fret of the G string, and that creates our dominant 7 voicing. So we're playing an E dominant 7. So it's that movement there. Once we've hammered onto the E dominant 7 position, we're then playing this little embellishment here. So what we're doing there is on the G string, we're sliding from 7 to 9. B string, we're sliding from 8 to 10. Then we go back to G string, 7, 9, 7. It's a series of quick slides. Very quick movement. You haven't got a lot of time to get that in. You probably will mess up the slides at the beginning. Just give it practice, patience, and get in the reps, and you'll get it in no time. Okay, the next bit is this. Okay, so what we're doing there is we're playing at A minor 7, root 6. So to play that, we are using our first finger, barring all 6 strings down on the 5th fret. We're then using our ring finger and playing the A string 2 frets higher on the 7th fret. Okay, again, we're arpeggiating this chord down to the G string. When we hit the G string, we're then playing this embellishment here. We use our pinky finger and hammer on to the 7th fret of the G string. Hammer on, pull off, hammer back onto the 7th fret of the G string. Then once you hammer back on, you slide up to the 9th fret of the G string. So to kind of complete the intro in the first round of the progression, we then play the F major 9 chord. Okay, so to play the F major 9, what I'm doing there is using my middle finger on the 8th fret of the A string, my first finger on the D string 7th fret, then my ring finger goes on the B string 8th fret, and finally pinky finger on the 9th fret of the G string. What I did mention is we're creating a bar of our first finger from the D string down to the high E string, and what that lets us do is add this little detail here where we hammer on our pinky finger to the 9th fret of the G string. So from the A minor 7, and then we just do this little run here, and then it loops back around, okay? So what that is, on the B string, 8th fret B string, hammer onto the 10th, pull back off back to the 8th. Then on the G string, we go from 9, 7, 5. Okay? All right, and then that's the end of it, and we loop back around that whole section again. But the second time round on the A minor 7, instead of just going to the F major 9, what we do is we kind of do a few more hammer-ons and pull-offs. So what we're effectively doing here is we're maintaining the chord shape while we play this embellishment, but to break it down simply, what I'm doing is this little run. So that is on the G string, 5, 7, 5. D string, 7th fret. Back to the G string, 5th fret. Hammer on to 7th fret of the G string. Sliding up to 9th fret. Now we need to play that whilst maintaining the position of the A minor 7. It might take a while to build the dexterity in your pinky finger to do so, but give it time and get in the reps. Okay, then that takes us to the F major 9 as usual. Same detail there where we hammer on to the 9th fret of the G string. Then we switch things up a little bit, okay? Then we play a series of octaves. So these are root 5 octaves, so that's the A string and the G string. On the A string, we're playing 3, 5, 7. On the G string, we're playing 5, 7, 9 together, and we're muting the strings in between. Then the progression switches up slightly, the order. So what we're doing here now is this. Okay, so what that is kind of part 2 to the progression, it's the F major 9 again. So again, F major 9, hammer onto the G string, 9th fret. Then we do the run that we did before, but it's paced a little bit differently. So B string, 8, 10, 8. G string, 9, 7, 5. Okay, then we play the E augmented into the E dominant 7 again. And then we do this little run here. On the G string, we're sliding from the 7th fret to 9th, back to 7, 5, D string, now we're on the 7th fret, back to the G string, and we do this little slide here. It's a detail that I use quite a lot. And what that is 5, 7, 8, 7, 5. So when we play the 5th fret, we hammer on to 7th. As soon as we've hammered on, we do a really quick slide to the 8th, back to the 7th, and then we kind of just pull off back to the 5th. But you kind of hold the 7th fret when you slide back to it from the 8th for a little bit. Now the second bit to that kind of run there is this. So we're now going back to the B string here, 8, 10, 8. G string, 9, 7, 5. E augmented to E dominant 7. Back to E augmented. Then we play the octaves that we played before, once again. Once we play those octaves again, that takes us back to the F major 9. And we play that whole sequence once again. So F major 9, hammer onto the G string. Play a little run into the E augmented E dominant 7. Little run in between here with the slide. And then finally, we play that run one more time, but instead of doing the octaves, we do this. And that's the end of it. So we go from that little run, which is on the B string 8, 10, 8, G string 9, 7, 5. Then we play E augmented to E dominant 7 again. We maintain that hammer on the G string 7th fret, slide up to 9th, and then we end on an A minor 7. And that's it. So there's kind of two parts to this progression. The first bit, and then the second bit, which is this. And we just play through each of those sections twice, but we just change up the embellishments slightly each time. And that creates the progression. So all together. Okay guys, and that's pretty much it for this progression. I would recommend playing to a metronome just to make sure you're staying in time. Practice slowly and build the speed up over time. In terms of dexterity, just get the reps in with those hammer-ons and pull-offs, those embellishments. Like I said, it's going to be messy to start with, but over time, the more reps you get in, it's going to clean itself up naturally. Now, if you want to learn how to put your own progressions together, then make sure you check out the top link in my description, which will take you to my ultimate R&B guitar course, taking you through all the techniques and concepts that you need to know to be able to write your own R&B progressions, all the way from beginner to advanced. Make sure to use code ETK10 at checkout for 10% off. Okay, if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like what I'm doing. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'll be dropping videos like this on a regular basis. All tabs are available on my Patreon. Again, the link will be in the description. If you want to stay connected, make sure you check out my social media accounts. Again, they'll be linked below. That's all from me for this video. Until the next one, take it easy and I'll catch you all soon.